everyone, how's it going? Sorry it's late again. I'm having to stay behind to do interviews and such, and I didn't get my din-dins going. So I had to quickly go eat. And had my hair cut today. Need to look good for the holidays, man. Let me quickly just program in chats. Where am I? Where am I? Let me quickly move over here. God, I am so tired. Like, I think I've adjusted to the new role, but, big but. You know what? Upon looking at this, I don't think we have a lot of this game left. Which means after that, but basically most of this stream is going to be new game. Which is pretty exciting. It's one I brought for stream, forgot about, and then realized I still have it installed. And considering my system appears to be a little bit backed up recently, I thought, you know what, it's time to get some of this stuff off so I can install some new things. You know? It's just how it's gonna be. I didn't go to the toilet. Oh no. It's okay. How folks doing? I was doing okay. Saw something just before stream, which I guess I shouldn't have looked at, but hey ho, it's all good. So yeah, plan is we will move to, what's it called? I should probably know what this game is before moving over. Where is it? I literally saw it and went, oh yeah, I have that game. I need to do that game. And now I can't. Oh, Mythwrecked. So yeah, we'll be doing Mythwrecked after this, which honestly, most of the games I have installed could count as cozy games. But, you know, it's on brand. So fine. No one minds, right? God, I hope not. And hopefully the internet will be a bit better today. It's not been particularly amazing recently, but hey ho. It turns out, even though my Nord is turned off, I don't know, something had turned on, and that was blocking half of the websites I use. And according to the Googling that I did anyway, it suddenly kicked in for a lot of other people too. Why? Who the hell knows? GG's on first rock. You are first. Take that crit. You can't get first every time. Not today. So yeah, we'll finish this off today. I mean, I don't see a world where this takes more than, I don't know, half an hour at most. There's no way this is going to be the entire stream. But we're close. We need to know what the hell is going on with this family. So, yeah. So for context, this up here is the entirety of the first, the main game. When they ported the game to Steam, they added Roottrees, which is this bit. Basically, men are scummy in this family. And they all had a hecky cheat. The founder, the righteous preacher man, who would never ever do that, except when he did. And the third president guy, who we all thought died really early because he was incompetent. And we all felt kind of bad, until we realized he has what looks like... I mean, it's hard to tell, but now that I'm looking at it, I think both of these two are his. So I don't know if they're twins, or if he just cheated twice. So Guy actually has 7 children. 7. God, 0 to 7. in an instant. We managed to put together all of Guy's family tree. The only ones we haven't is partners of the ladies he cheated with. And apparently a picture of Susan Ford. Which, just let me quickly Google Susan Ford. Let's see if anything comes up. You know, the most unrealistic thing about this is that no one has a dating profile that pops up when we do these. Susan Ford. Should we try it here? No. I would have thought, considering she is a educator, she would be here, but she's not, which is unusual. I mean, unless she's in Florida. No. Is she here? No. Is she here? No. Okay. Evening, Tom. How's it going? How's things? Thank you for popping over after the other night. Doing well. Good, good. You like the old Fen accent, do yous? So, the only thing we have left to figure out is Frank's family, which I can't even make out with all of these pins. I don't know. It looks like he had a kid who then split up with someone who we don't know and had this person. Bloody hell. I don't know. So I think the first thing that we should do is Google these names and see what comes up. Let me just try it straight. Barbara, is it Williams? I didn't even look. Yes. Okay. Where am I likely gonna find something about... Where did I find her name, for one thing? We're talking about her father, because her father is actually the son of Elias, who is like the big legacy man. You know, worth a lot. This was found in an obituary for Frank Wildcat Williams. He was juggling hammers on a construction site. It's refreshing to hear non-American accent during Pete's streams. I know, Pete has such a stereotypical American accent. Crazy. I felt kind of bad. We just kind of shoehorned ourselves into his stream the other night. Young Lord was like, hey, no, Pete's down. I was like, okay, cool. Why not? Where did I find this stuff about him? That's the one downside to stopping the game. I had to, because my brain was fried. So I'm guessing it was somewhere around here. Here? Under the headline, Constructing a Better World. I taught him the joys of the Wurzels. Hell yes. I'll be honest, I didn't know that was the Wurzels until Rock also mentioned it. I just know it for the meme, you know? Bad English heritage right there. Okay, so he won a Navy Cross. Exactly. Community's been unending and overwhelming. The Wurzels still play like little country fairs, you know? Do they? Hell yeah. Did I Google this already? My dad goes to a load because of him showing his trotters. He's got the old trotters, so we do. I think there's still a few of them. Ooh. Here? No. Here. Grew up an orphan. We know who his family is. His family died in a hurricane. That's a lie. After the war, he ran a construction company. He was born a joker. He was a born joker. She wouldn't have to change her last name. Wait. Heyo, Phoebe. An anecdote mentions that he used to insist he married his wife Ophelia as a matter of courtesy and convenience. She wouldn't have to change her last name. Well, that's nice. So what was her name? Wait a minute. Go back a bit. I swear we saw her name somewhere. But maybe not. It wouldn't be under Bess. Bloody hell. Unless it's Williams. Or is he Williams? He's Williams. According to the article, he is survived by Ophelia, his daughters Barb and Sharon Williams. Is there a marriage license somewhere? So apparently we don't have those. Yeah, it's really weird. Okay, give me a little bit. Oh, I did the wrong sister. My bad. Okay. No. BRB Williams. I love BRB Williams. My favorite Williams. Okay, so Barb is a motivational speaker and she has a website that explains the services she offers. Her company's address is listed as in Coconut Grove, Florida. Aye. So this is the myth. The man, the myth, the legend. Her story will surprise you, uplift you, then energize you. A lesson that anyone could take something away from. An intimate evening with a truly wonderful message. All females, might I add. I'm getting a vibe. So she's a motivational speaker. Is that one of these options? What would I put a motivational speaker as? Preacher? Hairdresser. Definitely hairdresser. Public speaker? Do you think preacher? Okay. It won't lock in until we have 5 people locked in. She looks like one. She does look like a preacher, right? Okay, apparently there's 2 pictures. And then she has a child with someone. And apparently there's 5 bits of info on here. I thought public speaker. We can change between the 2 when need be. The higher the number, the more there is to find. So this is connected to 5 different things. 5? Weird. Okay. So where I mean, unless we try Coconut Grove. No. No. Florida. That fits more. Just looks like she's speaking in a church. Could well be. We can rotate. Maybe she's on business watch. Barb Williams. phone is going a lot tonight. The Herald. News time? Pickety. We'll just try a whole bunch. No. Bugger! Okay, so where would we look after that? I mean, I can try Sharon Williams, but I'm sure we did that. No. Just give me a little prod. You know what? I did wonder about the quotes. Let's have a look at the quotes. Oh, Morning News, maybe? Or maybe one of the gazettes? Right, someone remember Kikiwa Falls Gazette. Kikiwa Falls Gazette. A man named Chris Elmsworth has invented a small town. Wait, what? I don't think any of this has anything to do with what we're looking for. So that one's out. What's the other one? Oh my god, WQTV12 News. I used to live in New Zealand. Did you? How was it? Isabel Crosby. Maybe we try the People. Isabel Crosby? I can't spell names. No, it's Crosby. Crosby. Ayo, crit. Vic Elmsworth? Vic Elmsworth? Ayo, Harry. You two appearing at the same time, eh? 12 years? How was it? It's always been too close to Australia, and I'm scared of bugs. Fine, crit. The only thing we've literally found out today is that this is Barbara, and she's either a public speaker or a preacher. I think we'll go with public speaker. Oh, Barb's Williams. Okay, hold. Oh, it's a him. I thought Vic was going to be like Vicky or Victoria. One of the three brothers, all three of them are contributors to the newspaper called Kikiwa Falls Gazette. Okay, no, it's just literally that page. Okay. Tends to focus more on the southeastern states. Okay. According to Victor, he had seen Barb talk more than once. On this particular occasion, Barb's talk was at a very large church, and it was clear she was an expert at matching the presentation of her concepts for any particular crowd, because she received a standing ovation. Barb started with a story about loss, specifically the loss of a bicyclist? What, you just call it a cyclist? Who had been hit by a car. She spoke about the death of any person as a darkness in their loved ones, a cold, empty void that begins to creep into a space. Her conclusion was that finding the hidden message, meanings in tragedy is the most important thing we can do. The biker who died was her son-in-law, and the lanes... Why do I feel like this is actually going to be relevant? Because it is. I also spent 5 years in Australia, so I've got knowledge on things Australian and Polynesian. Damn. I've got family in Australia. Well, they moved to Australia. But we're estranged. We are very estranged. It's a charity focused on adding bike lanes to major cities. Why did we get here? After the death of Drew Smith. We have a picture of Drew. Why would we have a picture of Drew? Wait. Yeah, why do we have a picture of Drew? This implies Drew is relevant to us. This fucker. So Drew, apparently. Who's he married to? That's the question. My grandfather almost ran away to Australia. Fun fact. What made him stay? I bet you this is Drew. I'm gonna call my shot. Wait. I don't see Drew. I don't see a Drew. So why do we have a Drew? Drew. Oh, Andrew, I'm guessing. Smith. He knew I had to be born. Clearly. Clearly. Okay. I'm a bit confused how we've got to this point. Each year, lanes across America has grown and now offers in over 12 major, including Miami. I'm not quite sure how we go anywhere from this. The newfound darkness her daughter experienced. If the charity was the light. And also I'm assuming moving to Australia would have been hella expensive. Yeah, I would guess. Okay, so what if we... Where was this? The bike who died... Because this is going to be in the paper somewhere, right? The only question is where? And just give me a hint. Which... Okay, we just searched lamb. Big bugs, snakes, etc. are an over-exaggeration to avoid the state of Queensland and the tall grasses at the beach. You should be fine. I'll just stay inside, to be honest. What was it? Lamb. Right. Why would I do the abbreviation though? Okay, so we have to put lamb somewhere. Business watch. Lamb. Butler County Times lamb. The Herald lamb. The Miami Mercury lamb. News Time. Piccadilly. God. Telephoto. What do you want from me? Yeah. Spider lane. Oh. Jesus Christ. Lanes across Miami. Miami. Yeah, I love Miami. My favorite city. Lamb was founded in 1987 and became LA in 1994. It was founded by Sharon Smith after the death of her husband. So, would you now be Smith? Oh, the plot, she thickens. But again, why did William adopt Sharon? Lanes across miasma. Exactly. Sharon and some other board members stepped down in 1992. One of the oldest articles has a full uncropped version of the same wedding photo from the LA website. After Sharon left Lamb, they began to crop her and the rest of her wedding party out of the photo to focus solely on Drew. Damn. Okay, so we did all that for a photo. Wait, why do we... This guy is a picture. Oh, well, she is too. Okay. Your asthma? My asthma? Okay, so this... Oh, I bet that's her because she'd be the mother-in-law, right? Did she get with Andrew's brother? Sharon. So what would that make Sharon? We don't know yet. You got asthma? I do have asthma. Oh my god, I opened my browser. I tried to open my browser instead of the game browser. Wait, whoa. Everyone, hold the phone. There's more. Okay, apparently this is important. I did grow out of my asthma, luckily. Which is ironic, because I grew into my asthma. Greta Jones, maybe? Maybe we try Greta Jones? Is too common a name? Okay, that implies we need more info. Where is this quote? Oh my god. Morning news. Okay, let's try Greta Jones morning news. No. God, right. What is the thing called? WQTV12. WQTV12. WQ. Oh my god. WQ TV 12. Greta Jones is, according to a flyer in your possession, the morning news anchor for a channel called this. You did find it listed on a giant list of television call signs next to the city Springfield, under the heading Effingham County. If Barb does speaking at school assembly, she might be in a school archive. One is a Georgia, the other is Illinois. Everett County. Springfield? No. Springfield! Miami? Sorry for that noise. No one wanted that. Wait, what exactly do you want me to search? Yeah, I did that. Try searching them both to see which one has a Springfield. A Springfield! Okay, we got Georgia. Oh wait, okay, so Effingham County, Georgia. There is a Springfield in Effingham County, Georgia. Okay, so now what? Is that how you... Oh my god. What do you want from me? On a giant list of television call signs. Like, I don't get what it wants me to... Oh, the other way. Right. What's this game about? Welcome in, Zambi. It's, we've been tasked with... Oh my god, how do you spell Georgia? Georgia. We've been tasked with finding out about this, hang on, I'll go back, make some context. We were tasked with tracing these, rich guy's family so we could determine who was entitled to a will. And then we found out that 3 of these powerful men are cheating scumbags, who may have done the dance, shall we say, and cheated on their wives. One of them 5 times. It's fun if you like genealogy and like searching for shit. So we're currently trying to find, well, a bit about Sharon. I don't know who we're trying to find, actually. Men are the worst. Oh, snap. I know. It's really, I really like these kind of things. So it's really, oh, channel 12. Greta Flores? No. I'm not entirely sure why I'm going down this rabbit hole. Female news anchors. The person who runs the website has ranked each using 3 categories. None are relevant to journalism. Before her divorce. Compared to the ordeal you've gone through to simply figure out her current name, it's way easier than you expect to find out she has a website of her accomplishments. She was apparently the MC for an all-speaking female tour in 1977. The Roottrees boys are clearly not doing men any favors. No. Why do I feel like Greta had a thing with Sharon? Into a book. Oh god. 25 Stories of Sisterhood. So we'll copy that by Ayla Hale. Ayla Hale. And then we do this. Oh, we got a hit. This is an anthology of stories told on a few different storytellers of sisterhood tours. It contains direct transcripts of the most well-received stories told on stage. Ayla Hale is the editor, not the sole author. Okay, give us those deets. Oh, it's just text. Oh no, you guys ready for a heckin'... Barb Williams had the transcript of a story she told on stage published into a book. The first part of her story focuses on 2 16-year-old girls. My sister, Sherry, was a brat. Always sulking, often disobedient, never on time. Here for the drama. Spill the tea. Wait, your sister? So why does this look so weird? There's something about this. These two aren't sisters. I'm confused, right? On a family tree, these two would not be sisters. It looks like Barbara is Sharon's sister from another mister? It's more this part. This clearly indicates that Sharon is... Let me read the whole story. That's what we discussed last time. That's what we theorized. My sister Sherry. Wait, so there's a sister? Where's the sister? I'm guessing from Ophelia. Sharon is Bob's daughter who was adopted by her parents, right? That's what it sounds like. So apparently there was a Sherry in the family, but she's not on the tree now? Allegedly. She borrowed things without asking and even ran away from home only to sneak back the next day like nothing had changed. My daughter, Sharon, on the other hand, was a beautiful person. She had excellent marks in school, was intensely artistic and creative, and even volunteered at an animal rescue. She continues to tell stories of the two girls until she shifts the narrative. What was the difference between Sherry the brat and Sharon the beauty? Is it nature, nurture, a better education, different opportunities? The answer is nothing. There was no difference. Oh, okay. Here it gets. Because my sister and my daughter are the same girl. Here it is, guys. We should have just keep reading. Barb reveals that her daughter was the result of an unexpected pregnancy when she was only 15. I met a boy at a county fair. Unlike us, he lived in a nice part of town. He went to the good school. To a teenage girl, God, it feels good to be right. He went to a good school. It felt like a fairy tale, but there were boxes all over his house. He was moving in 3 days. Those 3 days were heaven to me. The final night, he surprised me. He told me he could actually see me again soon. He planned to return to visit his grandparents. I thought I was giving him a reason to keep his promise. I never saw him again, and when I finally got desperate enough to ask around, a friend of a friend of a friend told me he hadn't even given me his real name. Oh, that's nice. Barb also talks about when she found out she was pregnant. I was convinced my life was over, but my parents, they took charge. I had to live at home and work a part-time job, but they removed the burden of motherhood. Oh, great. Barb, give me his description. I just want to talk. Like, it sucks, don't get me wrong. But the fact that she's like, yeah, I don't have to do the hard part pisses me off. Like, I don't have to do the motherhood part. I just claim that she's mine now that she's well respected and grown up. I managed to scrape out with a degree in English, and as my daughter was concerned, I was her much older sister. Barb used the story to come to a conclusion. When I was younger, I thought my sister was the brat, and I wasn't wrong. But she ran away from home to work at that animal shelter. She borrowed my clothes for presentations at school, and her creativity allowed her to open up Sherry's hair. Oh, open up Sherry's hair. That used to happen for a while. No, I know, I get it. It took me far too long to realize the beauty... Hang on. Before I forget, can we... Yeah. Let me just copy that real quick. We need to go there next, clearly. In fact, the brat and the beauty exist in all of us. It was my inner brat that kept me blind to the truth. And I'd like to say it's the beauty in me that's finally able to see what I was missing. I implore you to call upon the beauties in yourselves whenever the brat tries to take hold. I don't know. I don't like Barb. There's something in me that just doesn't like her. There's a Sherry's Hair in Orlando. The owner of the business is listed as Sherry... Oh, my lord. Sherry Jastrzemski. Wait, so who's Sherry? I'm still confused. Are you Sherry or are you Sharon? There's a Yashensky. Oh, God. The fact there's a Yashensky. She's both. I don't think I can do that. Sharon Sherry. Is there a Sherry? Is Sherry even an option? No. Okay, so she's Sharon. She's apparently Shaman Yashensky. Apparently she's a hairdresser. Has a large van, bring the style of Britney, Christina, or even the Rachel to your door. The about Sherry section. God, I can't read tonight. It's very, very long, presented as one paragraph with multiple run-on sentences and no pictures. Crit would hate that. I can already feel it. You get the sense that if she were to do your hair, she'd be doing a lot of talking. It mentions that her husband Pete was her late husband's college. Her husband Pete was her late husband's college roommate. She and he never had spent any significant time together until she became a widow. They left a charity behind because it was growing beyond their ability to run it. Right, so this is Pete. Pete. It's Peter. Peter's entered the fray. God, I hate run-on sentences. She also brags about her kids. Oh my God. Tony, Mark, and Cricket. 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 There's no saving this. There's also no Tony. Oh my God. I hate it here. Mark. Cricket? Tell me that's not a name. It's a name. It's a name. Her oldest Tony seems to get the short end of the stick. His two listed accomplishments are that he's the oldest and he's a straight A student. Mark, on the other hand, has multiple baseball accomplishments listed. Apparently his little league team is nationally recognized. Okay, so he's a student in that. And he's a pro athlete by that logic. Right? That's pro athlete material if ever I'd heard it. And I'm guessing all of you are unfortunately, Yashkemskis. Although apparently you were born to this guy. So what, the plot, she's gonna ficken. Cricket York. Oh, Cricket York. Cricket York. So what, are you named Peter York? No, not Sterling. Peter. Peter. Not short for Anthony. Oh, wait. No, you're right. If that's the name. Is oh! Tom coming in clutch. We respect it. Cricket York is near the end and has an entire section dedicated to her. She's a girl? You named a girl Cricket? She's an actress? Sherry, in addition to being horrible to community, is a stylist for the show. Okay. Yeah, so she's is stylist separate to hairdresser? Do you count that as separate? No. Let's go, woman! I don't know, man. Okay, so she's apparently an actress. Hi everyone, how you doing? Better than Jiminy. True. True. We're alright, Seashell. How you doing? Welcome in. I hope you's well. The passage also mentions that her agent recommended they change her last name to York, since it was easier to pronounce. The rest of the section describes how she got the part, but it seems unimportant to your search. Okay, so she's Cricket York. Who's Jiminy? Cricket. Yeah, this girl is called Cricket York. If she's an actress, she has to be searchable, right? Okay, so this is the show. So let's search this. I hate. Are you ready to see Cricket? You guys ready to see Cricket? Oh, it kind of sucks because she's cute. She's a cutie. Can it just be Friday already? Felt. The puppet Pooftail from 1997 when she was on a show called Library. Tackled why some people need glasses. While I admit that is very important. Like some of the popular TV shows include non-performers. This includes textbook manufacturers like this. Let me search that quickly. No one's related. Good. I see the designers like puns. Yeah. Companies such as EDUC82U. They have a deal with Library. Oh my god. Library. Feature some of the actors from the show and pictures on their website. Cricket and her brothers. Oh, Cricket and her brothers? Oh, we get to see the brothers. I mean, they look kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so you're the oldest, so you must be Anthony. You must be Mark, and you are Cricket. Good for you, I guess. Do they count as actors or do they count as students? You don't find much else about EDUC82U, except that there seems to be a small subsection of library fans who were deeply unsettled by the company's logo, which would appear after the credits on each episode. One writes, I was terrified of the little girl in the EDUC82U logo. She looked like some kind of demon doll, and I'd race to the TV every day to switch the dial before her creepy laugh came on. Right, okay. There's even a web ring history entries. She joined the cast in 1997 at the age of 5 and is still listed as a current cast member. Okay. The passenger was mentioned her age recommended. She changed her name to York. So what else do we need to find out technically? Maybe you're not a pro. Also, who's Peter York? Maybe we should try and find Peter York. Peter York. Educate to you. Oh wait, this guy's probably Peter York. The best friend in the wedding, like I knew, like I kind of called. Okay, so what have we got wrong? Tell me, game. Mark with a C, not a K. Not sure if it's important. Mark? Oh, maybe. You have enough to fill in Sharon. Do I? Do I, though? Okay. Maybe they're not Jeskrimskis. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that too. Wait, she's listed Sharon Williams. Okay. Now what? Sharon Williams, married, Cricket. Wait, so her name is... So is her name Yeshexki? Sherry's hair mentioned that Mark likes baseball. He's the child with a baseball shirt. Which one's which? Oh, her first husband's name was Smith. You guys are Smiths. I see the problem now. No, bugger. No, I don't. The rubber duck. I know, the rubber duck helps us. Smith. So original. Mark Smith is a student. Okay, no, apparently Mark counts as a student. Do you also count as a student? Yes. Okay. Wait, we've just unlocked 2 more relatives. There are 2 more relatives just appeared. Okay, we got Regina. We got that picture. We got that picture. We did that. Okay. The plot she thickens.
Hi again. I know you probably thought you were done,
God, I wished I was.
But it turns out what you're doing here might have some pretty major repercussions on the family tree.
Yeah, you think? Guy's a scumbag.
Again. Also, there's something really strange happening. I can't explain it.
If she suddenly pulls back the curtain and there's a whole other branch to this family tree.
I'd call it a simple misunderstanding, but it's digging at the pit of my stomach. I just have a feeling. Clark?
Tell me.
Last week, let's just say being the president, sometimes people bring me things.
Okay.
Just skip to the important part.
Right. One of our janitors brought me some hair she'd found in Ruby Spratt's trash. It was Bonnie Hudson's.
Wait, who's Ruby Spratt? Is that the lawyer?
Bonnie is Guy's sister.
Bonnie.
She'd sent us her hair to test potential Roottrees, since her DNA is closest to Guy's.
Oh no, I don't like where this is going.
But Ruby threw it out, and I wasn't sure why she would have done that. Especially right before we began testing the tree you provided. When I asked, she told me she thought the samples needed to be fresh every time they did a test.
How many are there?
It seems really odd. Ruby was the one who convinced us to do DNA testing in the first place.
Is Ruby
She
a root
seems so
tree?
knowledgeable. I don't like it. You've done more of a deep dive on these people than anybody else
They
has.
look like ghosts.
Clark will keep a closer eye on the DNA tests from now on.
You
You have an eye for anomalies. We need you to find the smoking guns.
Wait, do I have to do the
If
test?
there's anyone you're 100% positive can't be a root tree,
Or any you've got definitive evidence are root trees.
Oh, God.
Then we might be able to catch Ruby in a lie.
Come again? Come again? The wait. This goes all the way to the top. You can verify which people in the dotted boxes are almost certainly legitimate root trees, very unlikely to be legitimate root trees, and which of them are too ambiguous. Additionally, with the suspicion on Ruby Spratt, it's possible that some of her behaviors in the past have also been cast into doubt. A new section of a tree has been added for you to fill it. No, no, please, no, no, no. Wait, what? Guy. Is Ruby an option? I don't even have to investigate to know that this is Ruby. That's why she's being sussy. That's why she's being sussy. She's being sussy because she had an affair. Am I wrong? That's it. I'm stapling his trousers shut. Well, apparently he's dead. Right, so let me just add... We don't need you. And we don't need you. Oh my god. So how do I... Smoking guns? Okay, we have everything for... Let's go... Oh god. Surprise, surprise at this point. How am I going to prove this, though? Who is Ruby Spratt? She grew up in foster care. I mean, either that or she is a child of him. I'm trying to place how old she is. Okay, she studied at Mid-Eastern. She studied at Mid-Eastern. She studied at Mid-Eastern. Wait, we have something for that, right? Don't we? Yeah. Ruby Spratt. They didn't go over well with the predominantly middle upper class attendance and audience. The editor of the Herald at the time said, Ruby, unsatisfied by simply earning her place at Mid-Eastern with a full scholarship, went on to earn a captive audience of her peers with a perfect GPA. It felt like the ideal occasion for to celebrate of an undoubtedly incredible individual. However, by the end of her speech, those were many in the audience that wished that neither of those events had transpired. It was a passionate attempt to use her soapbox to that word, her fellow students and their parents into the religion of poverty. She has an agenda. She has an agenda. Okay, let's just go. Do I have 4 or 4? Okay, so let's work out. Is Frank Williams a possible root tree? So yeah, where was it? Yeah, there's a section where Sam speculates that Elias may have cheated on Gwyneth. She's the smartest, most special girl in the world, and she doesn't know how DNA sampling works. Sus. Gwyneth was also much kinder to Sam than Elias was, and was the first to invite Sam to family events. Yeah, that bit I don't get. But... okay, so Sam seems to think there was something going on. They mimic paper, but firm. Blood is thicker than syrup, but nothing's thicker than Elias. I can say without a doubt in my mind that my parents have never had eyes for anyone outside their marriage. Okay, that doesn't really mean shit for what we're trying to do. He grew up as an orphan because his family died in a hurricane. I mean, he doesn't have any noticeable family, which, you know, if he is an affair baby, that kind of makes sense. He was born a joker. I'm thinking he might be a root tree. And she died in a hurricane, which would verify what he said before. So what's everyone's consensus? What does everyone think? Is he a blood relative? Impossible to prove? Or is not a root tree? The only thing is with him is if his parents are literally Elias and Bess, you're not really going to be able to get a DNA match, are we? So, do we put might be? Or do we put is? Because it lines up. This is tricky. How are we gonna know? Do we know if they are his parents? We're not sure. I don't think we could get DNA evidence. Do you know what I mean? In this case. There are still 13 people left. My lord. Okay, so Stuart. This one's a bit tricky. It says that she adopted 2 children. It's gonna be a big old maybe. Spoke of advocate for the benefits of adopting. It's the fact she was twice divorced by the same man. So would she have cheated? Obviously got pregnant. Then they got back together and the same cycle repeated, which would imply that she was not faithful twice. And she spent a lot of time in the church with Miracle. And let's be honest, Miracle is a scumbag. And she has vivid memories of returning there twice. The second visit was years later. So wait, 1949 and 53. So are the boys 4 years younger than each other? And this is very shifty. So honestly, I can see this being an actual blood relative. Ah, yes, the criminal, of course. Oh wait, there's clues missing. Who's this? Does this give us any hints now? News time. Okay, hang on. While people weigh in. Anonymom. Not Momo. Momo. Mom. How do I spell you? Anonymom. I can't type. An anonymous woman appeared on the cover of News Time holding a picture of her daughter, Jane Doe Roottrees. The first and only mention of this phrase. You know what? Thinking about it. Isn't the story basically... This is Ruby, right? It was determined through a DNA test that Anonymous' daughter was not a Roottree. This article, which did refer to her daughter as Jane Doe Roottrees, but did not coin the phrase anonymom. It came before all that, right around the time of his interview. The anonymous woman claimed to have had an affair with Guy Hudson while she was working as his secretary. She and another woman were hired at the same time during a transition period while many of the secretaries who had worked under Zach had already gone. She says that she and the other woman were both underqualified, as neither had typewriter experience. According to other staff members interviewed, Guy had his own requirements. I'd have flagged you as a bot by now. Guy Hudson liked to throw lavish parties, and the longer he was president, the more excuses he found. The anonymous woman posits that these parties mostly seemed to be an excuse to have after parties at Guy's home, featuring much more alcohol and other substances. She claims she slept with him at one of these parties. She confronted Guy when she found out she was pregnant. Guy didn't seem fazed, and they came to an arrangement. He paid her a significant amount of hush money on a recurring basis under the table. She used it to move away and start a life with her daughter. When Guy died, the money stopped coming, and she'd assumed things had run their course. She went back to work at the department store and hoped that no one would ever look too closely at how she paid for the house. She told everyone that her daughter's father walked out one day and never came back. She claimed that after seeing the fantastic article in News Time, she realised that she wasn't the only one this happened to. While she never worked at the Roottrees company at the same time as 5P's mother Joanna, their stories seemed eerily similar, and she knew Joanna was telling the truth right away. The article presented no tangible evidence of the anonymous woman's time at Roottrees, and all the payments were allegedly made in cash. However, using details which she provided to News Time, their reporters were able to reach out to the other woman hired at the same time, who also remained anonymous. They successfully fact-checked the timeline of both women and confirmed the existence of the infamous after-parties. 5P's case was strengthened, and the news story was subsequently published. So the only reason that this story flopped, if I remember correctly, was because of a lawyer, right? Which I'm thinking might be Ruby. But I'm trying to think what article that was. Maybe it's from Sam. Which one's from Sam? Is it this one? Yeah. have. I know I've read this. So where did I read it? There is this though, so we could try to cross-reference who was hired with one other woman. Okay, let's have a quick look. Car is birth, product management. Major expenses, none. So this is when Guy took over. Patrick was hired. Christine Farrow was hired. No longer listed. Christine Garland. John Miller. Wait. Do I need to find her husband? No, I found it. Bugger. Bloody buggering hell. Gwyneth Madsen was hired. Oh, that's his sister. God, I hope he didn't have an affair with his sister. Christine. No. No, I don't want to zoom in on it. Jesus. No longer employed. No longer employed. No longer working. Okay, so this is the potential. Okay, let's just save that note. Not a huge Lannister fan again. I think we know Corrine Swart. So Beatrice Watts? Oh god, there's going to be quite a few of these, isn't there? Oh my lord. He hired so many secretaries in groups of 2. Fourth of July, New Year's Ball. Terry was hired. Edward. These are boys. These are men. Man-like threesomes. Linda Lewis. Ah, there's another one! Dude, keep it in your pants! Okay, a single woman, but that's fine. We're looking for another one. Gwyneth Madsen is... okay. News Ball... There's something about these, too. I'm sure there's something to it, but I can't see what it is in my head, if I'm honest. Okay. Ernest replaced Guy. Okay, so that's it. It's one of those... So how do I look at this now? Mr. Roottrees, my associate and I have traveled back in time to find you. We have come to ask you to stop. Please. It's so much work. Like, you have no idea how much work this is. Okay, so anything with Christine would be out, but that's fine. Okay, I think I've just found the pattern. But I don't know if that's going to help me or not. Sonia. I don't know how this is going to help. But have you noticed that after Joanna, C, X, S, and what were those flavors? He said he wanted to homage his parents, right? And his parents named a flavor after all of their kids. This mother fricker named a flavor after all of his conquests. Where's the file? Where is it? Where is it? Give it to me. caviar. This is after he met Christine, right? So at this point, in my theory, he has been with Christine. Still with Christine, because, you know, still making that shit. Then, suddenly, we get Strawberry, which is S, and Zigua, which I'm guessing is some Asian-sounding fruit. Guy, you bitch. X. S. Strawberry. You see? That there's a method to madness. These people he's paying off, but there's a butterscotch. There's a B. Guys, I raise you. This fricker slept with a B name in this time. Although then there's another sugar plum. But that is too much of a coincidence, right? Susan Ford. I think he probably thought about after the women. Because no one goes out and thinks, I'm going to make a sweet out of a Zigua flavor. So hear me out. All those notes we just highlighted. Guys. Tell me, Beatrice. Guy, I raise you. This is Beatrice what? What do you guys think? And this, I bet, is Ruby. What does everyone think? It fits too well. I knew there was something to those flavors. I said it last stream and I weren't sure. Where's Beatrice Watts? I'm on to you. I'm on to you, guy. It's insane. I believe it. It's insane. How do I find this? How do I prove my mad theory? How do I do this? Wait, be sure to have the correct... Okay, this is implying there's something here, man. Oh, no, it's not. Maybe. It's just crazy enough to work. I'm gonna do all of them. I'm gonna double check. It's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think this is it. I don't think this is the way. No. What was Beatrice's occupation? Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because she was hired alongside... Oh, who was it? Corinne Swartz. Secretaries. Apparently. But I need to find a picture. I'm that determined. I mean, this has been confirmed. Like, we are missing so many clues. I want to find the clues. Should we just use the duck? Look, we found the solution. We just need to know the answer. Even though she had no typing skills. Well, she had a nice rack. Search for an anom picoti. Okay, we'll do that. Anonymom. She was good with her hands in other ways. Wait. Piketty exposed personal details about the story of Anna Mom under the headline Annie Mom, the Annie Con. They said Annie Mom worked as a manager at a department store in North Carolina, and her daughter's name was Courtney May. They also said that the woman that vouched for her famous cover story that didn't identify it in news time, perhaps to avoid being sued, is named Corrine S. Corrine Swartz. Okay, well apparently this is now Courtney May, which I bet becomes Ruby. You guys think? She's gonna turn out to be Ruby, but that's fine. Guys, we found this first! Funny enough, some dudes get excited when you say you're a secretary. And that she had filed for bankruptcy. The article speculates that Anonymous and Corrine were in on it together, and they even speculate they might have been lovers. Piketty is not a credible population, the timing was poor and the information, but we did that on our own! By combining the information from the article and the company records, Jane Doe's Roottrees real name. Where? Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I guess. Okay. Courtney May, what? Guys, what's the bet this comes up with Ruby Spratt? You guys ready? Courtney May Watts. I don't know. Maybe it's not Ruby, but then what's Ruby? What's Ruby's angle? What's Ruby's angle? You found it on Courtney May's website. We got you, you son of a gun. We got you. We got you. She's not shy about claiming she is Jane Doe Roottree. As proof, she is posted on an obscured cover from the time she was featured on News Time, as well as a different picture of herself that appears to be a wedding photo. Oh, we didn't see that one. Hold the phone. Oh. The plot, she thickens. The website seems to be created in defense of her mother, who has been the target of public scrutiny. Of Courtney May Newton, formerly Watts. Everyone has everything wrong. My mum approached the Roottrees before 5Ps. Nobody at the Roottree company took us seriously. They only listened to us after we appeared on TV and magazines. The site has a scanned letter from the Ruby Legal Group. Ruby Legal Group to Courtney May's mother, Beatrice. In very polite legal terms, it seems to accuse her of exploiting the name and orders her to leave the Roottrees alone. It's dated from a few weeks before the 5Ps article, and it seems legitimate. Courtney May also discusses her mother's magazine feature in more detail. Do you know how difficult it was to convince anyone to tell our story? My mum didn't want to show her face because everyone in the media we approached assumed she was lying, because her story was just like 5 pieces. But my mum's story was first. Mum was advised by Ryan and Cork. Who's Ryan? Well, I mean, who's Ryan and who's Cork? To tell News Time that seeing 5Ps on the cover was what inspired her to go public. That's the only way News Time would agree to it and help her get on the TV. But it's not true. Our story was first. Courtney's defense continues, but much of it seems repetitive and useless. Towards the end of the page, she discusses the DNA test and defends her mother's character. My mum is amazing. She's the nicest woman in the world. She has diabetes and works at a department store, but still managed to help pay for my apartment in the big city so that I could stay with my high school sweetheart. I got a degree in nursing, so I learnt about DNA in college. But I'm beginning to think it's all a lie. Mum is 100% confident, but there's nobody else who could be the father. Either they did the test wrong, or DNA is bullshit, because she is not a liar. So, nursing? So, are you a nurse? Is nurse nurse is an option. But I don't know who your partner is. Someone Newton. This is so tricky. Like, I just want to say they're all potential Roottrees, because I can believe it. Where did Ruby go to high school? You know what? I think we did search Ruby in the past. But where? When? When did we search for Ruby? Alright, guys, someone go back on the VOD. No, I'm kidding. Don't go back on the VOD. We definitely looked at Ruby at one point, because I remember thinking it was kind of sussy. Ruby. Ruby Sprat. She was the subject of one article from American series One Day Success Stories. She grew up in foster care, but excelled at school and earned a scholarship to study at Mid-Eastern. Oh yeah, Mid-Eastern, because she was talking about her agenda back then too. Mid-Eastern Uni. PR and a traditional lawyer. Oh wait, we're counting her as retail now? Okay. Apparently we're doing what she does now? Can you just give me more hints? Ryan and Cork. It always comes back to Ryan. Printing DNA. Well, that looks fun. Ryan and Cork is an unremarkable law firm based in North Carolina, named after its senior partners, Winston Ryan and Gregory Cork. The firm mostly handles local cases and recently represented Anonymous. Their website has a section about the case, including a scan of the DNA test results that proved Jane Doe Roottree was not a Roottree. Who's Adrian Rowland? The test says there was virtually no chance that Anonymous' daughter, Courtney May, was a Roottree. The wedding banner in the photo. We'll have a look in a second. Was tested against the DNA of Bonnie Kellogg Nee Hudson. Guy's twin sister. Ryan and Cork, who were representing Anonymous, have confirmed that the sample they sent to the Roottrees was definitely Courtney May's hair. The test is from a company called DNA.co, and a doctor circled the result and signed the paper. DNA.co is a DNA test company. According to the site, was responsible for the DNA test for proved Felix Fellows was a Roottree, and even uses it as an example of how a DNA test looks. Whenever they take a sample in person, they put the name of the person on the test according to their legal ID, which is why it says David instead of Felix. Because Guy Hudson is dead and there is no known DNA source for Guy, they tested Felix's hair versus a hair sample sent from the Roottrees. It's listed as Jane Doe because it wasn't collected in person, but she sent the wrong hair. It's in the bin so they wouldn't know they fucked up. She sent Jane Doe's hair to be scanned against David's. And that's why there is no J flavor. That's what happened, right? She fucked it up. She's the relative. He's not a relative. Because it would have come back positive. Right? If he is a red... Yeah. Right? I think I've got that right. Because it wasn't collected in person, but the Roottrees company let them know it was from Bonnie Kellogg, Guy Hudson's sister. This is why it is a paternal aunt test. Perfectly match the DNA of 2 people in question and nobody else. The way the test works is that certain parts are shared. As far as you can tell, Genico is a legitimate company. They don't seem to have any reason to create fakes or hide the truth. Which means it was Ruby. Ruby, 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 Ruby. Okay, who is this? Let's cover our bases. Adrian Rowland. No? Okay. Husky! How's it going, my man? Oh god. How are we gonna backtrack all these people? I just want to prove this is right. Good, how about you? I am so tired. My manager role is kicking my mental ass. But I'm okay. We're just trying to figure out some shenanigans. Yeah, so wait, so does that mean that he is? Wait, no, I've been flower shopping. Ooh, for a good occasion, I hope. Wait, so if Ruby sent her hair and not Bonnie's, oh, for myself, I see. Does that mean she is related to him? So he is a Roottrees? It seems weird that the sweet thing doesn't extend here. You know what I mean? I'm a bit... I keep going back and forth. I don't know. I brought some purple bog iris last year for myself. Ooh. FD. Oh, right. Courtney, May, and Danny. Tom, you are so smart. I'm guessing it's Daniel. BRB, no worries. Hydrate, will do. Danny, who? We figured it out somehow. Because her name was Watts before it was Newton. No, it turns out there's a secret branch of Kylan. So yeah, I figured out the Newton part and you figured out the Daniel part. Okay, so yeah, what'll be... Isn't there someone on the previous tree with the last name Jacobson? Maybe searching them. Edith Jacobson. I just don't know how I'm supposed to find out this bit. Edith Jacobson. Butler County Times. Articles cover mentions as an arrest. Oh, wait! Yeah, you're right. Edith Jacobson. Yeah, I don't really get what this means. Do a police record. A thought I looked that up too. Basket Baby of 1950. Basket Baby of 1950? Apparently she was rather a prominent supporter of the concept of adoption, and someone decided to test how much. They left a baby on her doorstep in a basket. According to the site, she adopted him without question and raised him as her own son. Although it wasn't national news in many circles, he became known as the Basket Baby, and he even went on tour with her as he grew up. So is the final answer going to be no one is a Rootree or everyone is a Rootree? I think we're all Roottrees. Wait, so... A gospel singer named Mary once found herself dating. Wait, so... Does that mean he isn't or he is? I am so confused what it's telling me. I just kind of want to... Roottrees are the friends we made along the way. I know I'm technically cheating a lot, but I just want to know the answers, don't you guys? The Portland Telegraph? Do I even have the Portland Telegraph? Okay. Oh, and we got an achievement. So that is the last one of these. Crocodile achievements. Crocodile Clementine? He was flying between Los Angeles, Juarez and Vancouver. His flights were very low, literally under the radar. Only caught because he was bit by a crocodile on the leg and had to call in a mayday because he was losing blood. He tried to tell them he was a crop duster who somehow cut his leg on a loose piece of metal in the cockpit, but his story seemed very odd and controllers quickly alerted the police without informing him. A wild Phoebe of his? This is like a better interesting. Ugh, well now we're checking out 5Ps and Team Blast. At least this way, if we have all the info, we can then make educated decisions, you know? They've listed him among the hunky hotties for the past few months, with small bios to tell you various facts about him. This includes his real name, David, his birthday, February 9th, 1977, his star sign, Aquarius, and where he grew up, foster care in Portland. Team Blast, hard-hitting journalism. A letter to the editor claims that it's not possible that he was born in 1977, as he claimed on a song called 17 Magazine, that he turned 17 in 1992. The editor responds with a statement that they reached out to his agent to ask about the song, were told it wasn't performed by 5Ps, and they shouldn't put rumours. Okay, so even he is changing the narrative to when he's born so that it fits. He's not a Rootree. It doesn't make sense. Right? That's what it's telling us. These two got switched. 100%. Okay, what other hints are we missing? Search for 17 Magazine. I thought we had all the things, but okay, we'll search. 17 Magazine. Unreleased and controversial song by Dirty Davey. There's mentions of it on a few sites claiming it was the first release of his first mixtape, but was removed. According to recollection, it was about many different loosely connected occurrences of the number 17, mostly violent. The intro states it was written on Davey's 17th birthday and involved a fictional but glorified series of murders at a fashion show. Oh, nice! Due to major acts of gun violence in schools earlier this year and the subsequent backlash against violent music and video games, poor taste to bring it up. Okay, he sounds like a right piece of work. the Roottrees Rift. Search the Roottrees Rift in Business Watch. Okay, so we go to Business Watch. The Roottrees Rift. Is this stream buffering for anyone else or am I special? You're special. I cast Trap an anime fan. My attack was extra effective. I'm an anime fan. The article mentions that nobody from Roottrees, but they reached out to, was willing to go on record. The timeline says that the family actually held a preliminary vote after Carl died, before the release of 6 Pieces, and decided they wanted Ron to take over because of his experience running RR Productions, and because he was a well-known and well-respected Roottrees. But Ron seemed way too eager and personally motivated. They were worried he would gut the Clancy Trust to remove Robbie Roottrees. The family was notoriously unwilling to do anything that could risk their wealth. They stalled and Ron became frustrated with the delay. When 6 Pieces came out, he saw his chance to force action while the family was in the limelight and released the press release himself in an attempt to get the ball rolling faster. This caused chaos within the family. They tried to save face by allowing Ron to take over as a co-president with Clark, but according to Business Watch's source, Ron was impossible to deal with. He seemed like he was unwilling to protect the Clancy Trust, and they eventually let him go. After that, the role passed solely to Clark, who nobody was excited about, but seems he was the safest choice. Rip Clark. Yeah, I want to look into this. You have resource focuses on point of his leaders. Search for Ruby Legal Enterprises and bid. Oh, we're onto you, Ruby. We are onto your ass. Okay, Ruby Legal Enterprises. Ruby Legal Enterprises. Are you guys ready? You guys ready for the dirt? I know it's in here somewhere. Clark Rafferty LaRoe, as well as Ruby Spratt and her company, Ruby Legal Enterprises, were featured in Business Watch after the company took over as the keepers of the Clancy Trust. There's an article about the process that interviews both Clark and Ruby. It seems that Ruby actually approached the Roottrees sometime in late March after the Roottrees Rift, but well before Roottrees Mania. An accomplished but relatively low-profile lawyer. Searching Ruby and a Wurzels music video pops up. It's all related. It's all... Welcome back, Husky. It's all linked. She offered to work for very little money as long as she could be a public face to build her reputation. The family quickly jumped on this chance, as many family members often attempt to spend as little as possible to keep their shares of the Clancy Trust as high as possible. I return. Where is Zelda? Does it say Zelda? Did I put Zelda somewhere in my bio? Your princess is in another castle. Yeah, it's in another castle. After looking at the trust more carefully than anyone else had in years, Ruby came to the conclusion that Clancy Edward Roottrees' implementation was not legally sound, and that there would be constant legal challenges with some modifications. The family decided to put her in charge of the trust, both legally and as a public face, to prevent further issues. Ruby Legal Enterprises has been described as a mix between a law firm and a PR firm. Her first move, as sort of a trial run before she was even hired permanently, was to help them draft a public statement accepting Sam into the family, declaring that they'd begin to address the Clancy Trust. This went quite well, and they officially hired her in April. Nah, I want you, Link. You want you, Link? You said Link? Oh. They paid her to ruin their reputation in exposure. Ruby Legal is now in charge of many financial aspects of the company, including verifying any claims to the trust and organizing the various charitable causes such as scholarships that have been set up in the name of the deceased. No, I want Link. Give me Link. Wait, you know Ruby's hometown? You have a period from her hometown? Search for Ruby Spratt in the... Ooh! Guys, we're really hounding in on Ruby. Portland, Ruby Spratt. Your wayward vagabond Merc is in another castle, hopefully not with the princess. Local teen making change for foster care system. According to the article, Ruby Spratt grew up in the foster care system, who was apparently the valedictorian of her school and was and was as a Girl Scout who, at the time of the article, was earning her gold award. This required a project to help the community, and Ruby chose to raise money to build a fountain she called Foster Fountain. Let's just search that, copy that quickly. Ruby Angry Mob Squad. The fountain had a few small pedestals that stick up high above the water. People are expected to toss coins into the fountain for good luck, and will be encouraged to aim for the top of the pedestals. All the coins scraped from the bottom are slated to be donated to Portland's foster care system. A coalition of local businesses that sponsored the fountain have committed to matching any of the donations that successfully land on the targets. Is this worth? Okay. A website for Portland's Parks and Recreation mentions under a trivia section that the Fountain of Youth was originally conceived by Ruby Spratt, an alumni of the foster care system. As more businesses signed on as sponsors, it grew in scope, even beyond Spratt's original hopes. The fountain is unique because it has special targets that visitors could aim their coin towards. If a coin lands on one of the targets, each of the sponsors' business matches it. This isn't a huge amount of money from each business, but more than 100 businesses have agreed to participate, so each penny becomes $1. Right. Wait, what? The Fountain of Youth. It never ends! The Fountains of Youth. Okay, the Fountain of Youth. I can't. It was one of the two. Apparently, at the unveiling of the fountain, the mayor of Portland made a speech, and there were performances by multiple local entertainers, as well as a ribbon cutting from the people most instrumental in bringing the fountain into fruition. The article calls out that all of the performers and speakers, with the exception of the mayor, were foster care alumni, and most of them grew up together as close friends. This includes... Oh. This includes poets, musicians, and dancers. Dirty Davy was listed as one of the musicians. Ruby, Ruby, Ruby. Are you lying so that your friend gets money? Are you wanting the Roottrees fortune, Ruby? Well, well, well. Spiders. God, it feels like I'm just constantly... Kitchen tales. Well, well, well. What is that Lisa's telling us? I don't know if I care enough to read about that. It's a loaf. Business. Oh my god. Do I really need to know this? Do you think we need to get this bit right? I mean, we probably do. Lang Xingyu. What? Say what? Lang Zin... What? Zin... Oh, Zin Yu. My mistake. Her father stayed the president of Lang Tai for a long time, and his daughters grew up. He began training them in hopes that one of them would have a son take over. One helped him in China, the other in the USA. The Business Watch article mentioned separate resorts for her company. Oh my god, I don't know if I can be bothered. Okay, so he is not a Roottrees. But apparently, this is tricky, man. Like, technically she's saying they're adopted, but I don't know if I believe that. Do I trust Miracle to not be a freaking... I mean, technically it's not impossible to prove. Like, technically, we could pull Miracle's ass in and do a DNA test. You know? That's not me saying I want to see Miracle's ass. Miracle is a piece of work. But. Big butt. And then, oh my god, all of these heckin'. Miracle equals a monster. Fact. Okay, I don't think he's a root tree, but I think this one might be. There's definitely stuff about the dates. But I don't know if I have it in me to check the dates. You know what I mean? Is that bad? It's a little bit bad. Cough. Should I just guess them? I just kind of want to prove that Ruby is an asshole. If it's a bad thing, he did it. Yeah, one twin is, one twin isn't. Should I just guess? Do we actually guess? That is kind of funny. You have 2 possible root trees left. Do I? Where? Explain them to me. Oh, what? I'm sorry, when were they in question? Oh, this I have to see. I don't know how to look into this. Which means I now have to do this. I have to do all of this just so I can know. Right, guys, we might be doing just this game tonight. I thought we'd be doing something else, but this is just... Business Watch Lang Tai. You know, I'll just get all the pages up and then we'll look through them at the end. Search. Oh my god. Quiginus. No. S. No. Kiginus. Oh my god, I can't spell this word. Q-I-G. Okay, here we go. I just want all this. I want to know about this. When did this? Near Elves in Business Watch. Okay, now what? Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is what we want to know. Put me on the track for this. Ron and Robbie are in a dotted section of the tree. This warrants some investigation. I mean, we did wonder that last time. Both of the brothers are pretty notable. There's sure to be new information online. Spider search for Robbie. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is like someone we investigated on the first half. Robbie was released from French prison after serving a few years for assault. His embezzlement and arrest were partially featured in 6 pieces, as Robbie's participation in the Fancy Trust was a key piece of evidence in Sam's favour. It has since become much more publicly infamous. He has not yet returned to the States, but when journalists reached out to him recently after the death of his mother, he had issued a blanket statement a few days ago. The death of my mother was hard on our family. My brother and I, after spending time together caring for her in mourning, have finally made amends. It was a highly transformative few weeks when it came to our relationship. I'm in recovery from my addiction, and a major aspect of that process is that I wish to stay private. Right, what did that exactly? Okay. I can't spell Gwyn. After leaving Hollywood, she made no effort to stay in the limelight, and most obituaries turned to focus on her largest role. Oh god. Apologies. I just started to choke. Oh god. 1 second. I'm good. We back. This is weird. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. I won't lie. I had a single Oreo left, so I tried to eat it quietly, and it got stuck on the back of my throat. I think I'm okay. Ayo. Hara, behave. It was fairly popular at the box office and made its budget back, but was seen as somewhat formulaic. I heard single and in throat. Alright, where are my manners? Hara. Oh, what? My follower count went down again. Oh. I don't see the correlation.
What the hell?
Thanks, Tom. Bring us right back on track. Leslie. Tom, man. Leslie Florence. Must maintain balance. It came out that she died of a genetic disease known as Huntington's in the late 1960s. Who? Wait, what? What exactly is it saying? Wild Bill Williams. He did not come to the funeral. Because of his absence, there were rumors online he must have already died, but according to a reporter that tracked him down, he's in his 70s, still lives in Paris, and is still in perfectly fine health. If she had Huntington's, then her relatives could have it too. So Gwyn isn't a root tree? Gwyn isn't a root tree? The few years I spent with Gwyn were just one stop along the very long, complicated journey that has been my life and career. The last time we spoke was when I signed the divorce papers. She asked me to never contact her or the kids again. I've always respected those wishes. They've never reached out to me either, even as adults. So I have to assume they have some kind of idea why she hated me so much, and the sacrifices she made on my behalf. I wish them well, and I'm sorry for their loss. But we've all been strangers for 40 years, so I can confidently say they wouldn't have wanted me there. In fact, I'm confident my presence would have ruined it. Wait, now I'm looking up the partners? Penelope, Tessa, Green. What? Penelope. How on earth am I spelling this? Penelope, Tessa, Green. Oh, well, of course. I can never spell this name right. Penelope. Penelope. Tessa. Green with an additional E. The fundraiser was called The Best Medicine and was to help find a cure for Huntington's disease. Wait, what the hell? Until less than a decade ago, it was impossible to predict if someone susceptible to Huntington's had the disease, but due to advances in medicines, tests have been developed. Hopefully this increases awareness and the first step into finding a cure. I am confused. I just want to know. I'm not looking anymore. I'm just... production. Oh, that's how you spell productions. Productions. Thank you for the hydrate jelly. You missed where I nearly choked earlier. Wait, has this helped us any? Guys Like Us remake? Alright. How's it going, Jel? Guys Like Us remake. Move news. The logo is a cow on a film canister. The rumored cast is Cameron Diaz. Whoa, we're just straight up using and Chris O'Donnell. The remake has been put on indefinite hiatus due to its director, who is speculated to be Ron Roottrees, dropping out of a wake of a serious medical issue. If Huntington's is genetic, then Margolite, I don't know how to say her name. Is she not Gwyneth's mother? Wow. How did that happen? I'm just confused. Huntington's. Is it Huntington's? Huntington's disease. After symptom onset between age 30 and 50, those affected typically live another 15 to 18 years. There is no cure. Genetically from parent to child, the gene that causes Huntington's works in such a way that if a parent has the disease, there is a 50-50 chance the child will get it. Huntington's cannot be passed on recessively, meaning it cannot skip a generation. In other words, if someone has a mother or father with Huntington's, but they themselves did not receive it from the parent, their children and grandchildren so on after will also never have it. Until the early 1990s, it was impossible to test for Huntington's. Instead, symptoms would usually appear later in life. This would often be after the person affected already had children. In 1993, due to determining which gene causes Huntington's, it did become possible to test children for it and know if the disease was passed on or not. For a variety of complex reasons, however, children are considered unable to consent to such a test and are therefore very rarely tested unless they're showing symptoms. I'm so confused how this... Search Gwyn and Starlet. What good is that gonna do? I am shook. I am so shook. Gwyn... Roottrees... Other mention for the rumor as well, Bill had multiple affairs. Yeah, this hasn't been updated. is this her way of saying she... Is that why it was weird when she took her mother's name? What are you telling me? Peg cannot process. Oh, that's true. I should check out the dad. Wild Will Williams. Williams? Wild Bill Williams. Oh, apparently we found all the smoking guns. Another achievement. What are you telling me? Roottrees, Brazil. Roottrees, Brazil. Okay, looking for Sonia's ex. Who's Sonia? Is this... Yeah, apparently her ex is on here somewhere. Okay, apparently there's a name here and it's mentioned somewhere. Someone tell me when they see a name. Edson Suarez? Maybe? I mean, that's the only name I can see. Edson Suarez. I mean, it's on the list. Yeah, Suarez. Okay, that's one new one. Thomas Hughes is her ex-husband. Thomas Hughes. Oh, that's true. Oh, I thought it made it sound like he was being an arsehole and said, don't bother changing your name. But no, that makes more sense. I thought we did Peter. So where did the York part come from? Okay. So I'm guessing somewhere in all of that... I mean... I think it's implying these guys aren't Roottrees. But I'm not quite sure... I mean, just because their mother has has Huntington's... I mean... She still could be her child and have Huntington's, right? Is this a double red flag? I mean... I think they're related. They're definitely related to her. And she's not under suspicion. So, I think we just lock in. Let's just see. Let's see. I ate way too much again. Why do I do this? I know the feeling. Margolite. Ah, I see. Margolite. Number of optional entries left for next time. 1.
Beatrice and Courtney May. Clark, can you swing another test against Bonnie's DNA?
This time I'll be sure to have them verify both samples in person.
You do that. Tell me I'm right. I might be wrong about everything else, but on that I am sure.
Using the family tree you filled out, as well as DNA tests, Clark's handling the business. But I've come to thank you and fill you in on everything.
It's been one
we've
heck of a
learned.
week. Let's go.
Actually, that's an understatement. It's not every week you discover your family company is being sabotaged by someone they trusted.
Gasp.
But that's the kind of time we've been having. Like I said, buckle up.
Ooh.
Maybe grab some popcorn.
Like, ironically,
We'll
Clark
start with Guy
actually
Hudson.
has stepped up. You know what I mean?
Guy had a frankly ridiculous number of potential children. What shocked me is how many graduated from potential to confirmed. We can even prove he was aware of them. The smoking gun was how he used company money to pay off a lot of women.
So it actually was both of the brothers. I couldn't really tell. Clark does not want to be in charge, and he's made that everybody's problem. I respect that. The tea.
He hit it with a method inspired by his idol.
Yeah, I saw
Elias.
that.
5-piece flavors. The flavors he was paying to research were a ruse.
Look, if you're trying to tell me this, be it, I already figured that out,
He
Sam.
developed flavors based on the initials of the women he was paying. Which was really stupid, considering one of their names started with X.
Does this exist?
Let's start with Christine. Guy was paying her under the name Caviar, but there were some other clues. James was born 9 months after Zach's party. Christine was there with Guy, and when she got pregnant, she panicked. Steve stepped up. He even turned it into one of his recipe stories.
Steve, well done. It's Chinese for watermelon. Is it? Interesting. Oh my god, he does the fucking tit. For years, 2 bakers flirted, but he was one day whisked away. Upon seeing Yates, delighted and distraught, she had already prepared buns for the palace ovens. She was pregnant with another man's child. He shared her fear. They'd missed the final chance to bake together. That's really sweet, though, that this guy stepped up to raise the
Not
kid.
all of Guy's affairs led to offspring. He may have slept with Robin Martin, but she didn't have children.
This game
so
juicy
we'll
as
never
fuck.
know.
If you like rooting through things, it's such a good game. I love, like, family trees. I always do them in my Sims games. I don't know what it is. I find them really fascinating. So this game has scratched every itch.
Also, not every child of Guy's affair partners were his. Robert Garland was born after his parents had already moved to Boston.
Yeah, I did think one of them had to be, but I thought it was the younger one. My bad. I got them mixed up. They look so
Skipping
similar,
Beatrice
though.
for now. Up next is Lang Xin-yu. When Guy showed up in China, she was into America. And Americans. Dare I say redheads, even?
What can we say?
When she got pregnant, her father paid key genes to fake IVF. They claimed her sister was unable to conceive. But her sister and
This is
Jerry
gossip,
had
the
their
game.
own son, Mark.
Liz.
Sonia Alves
Have you played
was
her
soon
story?
after.
I think
Mia was
people
married
have
at a very
mentioned
young
this
age
as a
to a
follow-up.
much
I haven't
older
played it though,
husband.
no.
She resented him. I don't blame her. They allegedly spent no time together in private. Guy was in Brazil during Christmas 1979. It's the only Christmas not in the records. Flavio was born 9 months later, and like the others, Guy
Want to
started
spend
paying
hours just
Sonia.
fucking sticking your nose in everyone's business and judging them heavily? Do I have the game for you? What, her story or this one? Guy, you piece of shit.
Last was Susan Ford, hired to translate for Guy's overseas trips. It's easy
Oh,
to
this
read into
one.
Guy's donation to her school.
I put some as
But there's
no
no
because I didn't
definitive
think
proof
they'd have
there.
the balls to have him have like 10 kids. But no, they had the balls.
She and Guy were witnessed together near the end of his life. Susan's husband was convinced he couldn't be the father of her daughters. Guy, though, paid double. The price of twins.
So look at the narrative murder mystery traveling through video interpretates. Ooh, I'll add it to the list of things to
So,
keep an eye
what
on,
about
Tom.
5 Ps?
5.
Felix Fellow's mother,
Peas.
Joanna, doesn't have a 5 pieces flavor. On top of that, his story doesn't really add
It
up.
doesn't, does it? It's
His mother
almost
already
like...
left the company by the time Guy became president, and his lyrics indicate he was born sometime around 1975.
It's almost
Alone,
like he's
that
talking
wouldn't
shit.
necessarily prove it. But there are some suspicious connections between Felix and the company's current lawyer, Ruby Spratt.
There is,
They
isn't
both
there?
grew up in Portland, in foster care, and according to the local paper, they definitely knew one another.
Yeah, I did notice
Ruby was
that.
the one who approached the Roottrees to begin with. It was all a setup. Ruby and Felix saw my book's challenge to the Clancet Trust as an opportunity. His mother really had worked for Roottree, and Ruby was a respected lawyer. She exploited my family's greed,
Damn.
worked her way into control of the trust, and ensured Felix got a piece. But they made some mistakes along the way. If you look at the 2 DNA tests that Ruby handled, they were both supposedly tested against Bonnie Hudson.
Oh, were the genes different? I didn't look at them.
But the 2 signatures that should both
Yeah.
represent Bonnie don't match. After Clark and I confronted her, Ruby lawyered up. Ironic, I know.
In Sam, we trust.
We suspect
I
Ruby had
guess.
Donatico test Felix against his own mother's DNA. He had a hairbrush of hers. They sent the female sample in remotely. On the second test, Bonnie's sample was tested locally, but Courtney May's was not. Ruby's been throwing away samples. We think she sent her own hair instead of Courtney May's, but it could have been anyone's.
Oh my god.
Ruby and Felix were in cahoots.
Those bastards.
As for why, they were both advocates of wealth redistribution, a noble effort. But once they controlled the family fortune, they became just as greedy as the worst members of my family. The money corrupt. They were so eager to personally wield the wealth for their own cause that they sabotaged any other claims.
Disgusting. Get out of here, you scrub.
That finally brings us to Anonymom, aka Beatrice Watts. Her tales of Guy's parties and payoffs were true. She even approached Ruby before 5Ps was on news time. Ruby used Beatrice's truths to make Felix's lies feel real, then ruined the
Disgusting.
DNA test so that Beatrice looked phony in the public court of opinion. I feel
We
worse
hate
for her
Ruby.
in all of this.
Look at her. She's a guy baby. She's a guy baby.
While Ruby and Felix stole the show, there were some other potential new family members as well. Miracle Roottrie was less of an open and shut case.
Oh, miracle.
That said, it's very likely he had a son with Mary Beth Clementine.
Thank you. Hate this for
Not
her.
Stuart. Mary Beth adopted him before she ever set foot in Butler County.
Oh, I got it the wrong way around. Uh-oh.
That leaves Mark. The timeline fits. He showed up about 9 months after Mary Beth visited Miracle.
Weird
And
that.
the basket baby story is a bit too if that's not enough on its own, he was also bailed out by the sister of Edith Roottree, Miracle Jr.'s wife, after she changed her name to win that silly contest.
You hate to see it.
Our best guess is that Mark was told by his mother whose son he was, and used that fact to put some pressure on Miracle Jr. We have no real proof of that, but nothing else really makes sense for why they'd be connected in that way.
I mean, he looks like a miracle baby, right? It fits.
Elias's affair was the most ambiguous. Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias to do things he wouldn't have otherwise done, like pressure to include me in the family. My son even mentioned them arguing about someone named Beth.
Oh, was it Bess?
Combined with Gwyneth's lisp, it's possible the name was actually Bess.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all we know about Bess Williams is that she wrote his book and died not long after, leaving her only son an orphan.
So I guess it's that part of the family we
The
will never know.
timeline fits with Wildcat, but there's no record if she had any other relationship. Honestly, I wouldn't say we had enough evidence either way. I wouldn't be surprised if Elias cheated. Of course, I'm a bit biased. Regardless, we haven't gotten in touch with any of the Williams clan. That means we haven't been able to do a DNA test. As Clark mentioned, from here on out...
As it should be. My money's on yes, personally, just looking at the track record.
Lastly,
But-
we have a bit of a curveball. Ron Roottrees isn't related to us by blood. Gwyn was definitely pregnant, so it's likely Robbie is.
Oh my god. I didn't even factor that in. Oh my god! We weren't... I was looking at it as to, is Gwyn a Rootree? But no, it's more the fact she had an affair with Will.
When Ron and Robbie went to visit their mother at the end of her life, something changed. Additionally, there have been a few rumors circling around Ron. RR Productions canceled the Guys Like Us remake due to the director's illness. At the same time, Ron's wife Penelope began doing benefits for Huntington's disease, stating that she had become familiar with it. Huntington's is the same disease that Gwyn's former co-star Leslie Florence had. It's passed from parent to child. It can't skip a generation.
Did she have... Oh, her co-worker had an affair with her husband. And she raised the baby?
Because Gwyn and Wild Bill didn't have Huntington's, and Ron seems to, it's impossible
see.
Gwyn was his mother. I recently confirmed all this with Ron. At the end of her life, Gwyn told Ron the story. Leslie and Bill had an affair the same year Leslie learned she had Huntington's. Leslie got pregnant.
That sucks.
Leslie wasn't likely to survive to see her child grow up. And even if she did, she didn't want to be a burden. She begged Gwyn and Wild Bill to adopt her child.
That is so sad.
Gwyn did. Mere weeks after she found out she was having her own son, she also took in Ron. Wild Bill was a problem. Unreliable and a serial adulterer. Gwyn
And she
divorced
stepped
him and
up.
never
She
saw
took
him
his
again.
kid.
Gwyn had already told
Wow.
Scarlett she was pregnant, so it never really made waves when people saw her with a child in Paris. There was gossip during her divorce when she was discovered to be pregnant again. In actuality, it was the final months of her only pregnancy.
Gwyn MVP.
To lay low, she stayed in
Ironically,
Paris long enough
yeah,
that
she
even
stepped
her own
up
family
by
never
not
had
stepping
reason
up.
to question the timeline. It's one heck of a story.
Wow.
And frankly,
I
nobody
thought Gwyn
could
was
be
a bit of a
expected to
bitch.
piece the timeline together. Not with what few mentions of Gwyn's past have survived. But the Huntingtons itself?
That's unfortunate because Ron is the better of the brothers. He's go off Queen. Ron's decent. Robert is criminal scum.
Ron suing Robbie to remove him from the Clancet Trust was a huge moment in my story, and a major catalyst for this entire investigation.
That's sad. And his kids are now not going to be in the trust.
Finding out that it's been pretty much backwards this whole time has been a bit surreal.
I feel bad for the kids because their
So that's
future's
where we're
just been
at.
ripped away.
Looking over the information you sent us was useful. Without your tree, I'm not sure we would have ever discovered Ruby. All this information, this entire story. It's a lot, in more ways than one.
Does
Some
it?
of it has the potential to destroy marriages and ruin relationships.
Does it?
We're handling it all
Who
very,
cares about
very
Miracle?
carefully. But we couldn't have gotten here without you.
God, I hope they come out with another, like, free update where there's, like, more cheats.
And with that, I
Be
guess
hilariously
our tale
funny.
has finally, truly come to an end. What a strange one it was. No words can express
Yeah,
how
fuck
grateful
Miracle.
I am to you for untangling this
No, I want
mess.
more mess. Do some more
Honestly,
tangles.
I've had enough of my family's eccentricities and scandals for one lifetime.
No.
I imagine you have as well.
Throw us some more in about 9 months or something.
And if not, well, there's always Elias's and Gwyneth's brothers and sisters.
Are you suggesting?
Attention, Roottrees.
Oh no, don't have his song playing.
Real world. You know, the place you ain't ever lived in.
You say
No, not this dick.
is the root of all your problems.
We don't like this dick. He's a liar.
Root of all your
Man,
problems.
y'all are hypocrites. Sitting
Click on the
back in
cassette
your
and-
massive estates,
Okay.
built from the cash that your ancestors gave you, acting like you somehow deserve
Oh,
it
what a
based on
prissy.
your family's creations. Yo,
But looky here, sonny, don't you come for our money, or you might burn bright in hellfire someday, like that
Hello?
Manson chick.
and her two dads. My pappy's cleansing trust should keep you away. Yo,
Hello?
It's disturbing, catching a sermon
Are
from
we
a
just
geezer
listening to
who's
this
never
now?
known hurt, but blurts out these claims that somehow we're sinners because we didn't earn it. When
Are we
all of
just-
your
okay, I
work
guess we're
came
just listening to
free
the song
with your
now.
name, you expect me to treat your lectures on Greek
'Cause it's
as
not-
some
it's
expert
not moving
creed
on.
for heed without blame. But instead, I turn my other cheeks and spread 'em. When you give me a kiss, you'll know just where to aim.
You say money is the root of all your problems.
Huh.
Let me take those problems away.
Whoever calls dollars
Hello?
the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's
Game?
purest treacle, while real world
I guess
folks
we're just
burn their
listening.
spoons with a needle. So once more with
Oh.
passion, this poor tragic orphan.
I hope it was worth. Yeah, it was alright. Orkies. Man. Game said let's chill. Wait, so apparently I got something wrong. What did I get wrong? What did we get wrong? Tell me. What didn't we put in? Oh, it's all locked in. Yep, there was a picture somewhere. We didn't find a picture for Susan. Yeah, this is sad. Like, these guys are just not gonna be secure anymore. Are they, I mean, are we gonna look at their siblings? If this game does have another release, oh yeah, it's, no, not this guy. So what didn't we get right? Someone's name somewhere? It said there was something left to do for another play, but I don't see anything wrong. Weird. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he actually did have an affair with Joanna. Right? Most likely he did. But it obviously didn't result in a pregnancy, so... I'm guessing this is the thing that we missed, but I don't know where to find it, so... I guess for now, this is where we leave the family tree. But yeah, if you guys want to see any future updates, I guess let me know. I'm happy to play it.